In today's video, we are creating some gorgeous Dollar Tree DIYs using $1 Elmer's glue alongside some of my favorite Dollar Tree pieces that they are putting out right now that you need to keep an eye out for. Please leave me a big thumbs up and let's get on into it. A lot of fun new outdoor decor pieces are hitting the Dollar Tree, including this solar lantern for $5. How gorgeous is this? It does not feel like cheap plastic. It actually has real glass and it is solar powered. So this is an incredible find. I scored this for $5. I knew exactly what I wanted to do with this whenever I saw it in the store. You guys know I am obsessed with pressed flowers, and I'll tell you that I'll have some linked down below in the description box, but I find them on Amazon, but Walmart is starting to put out pressed flowers in the store as well, so check there in the crafting section. I don't feel like you're getting as great of a deal, but if you can't find them anywhere else, it's very convenient. Now I had to try this out. I knew that I have been loving using the Elmer's clear glue. You can find this very inexpensive at different stores, even Walmart, so just add it to your delivery order or pickup order and you can use it on so many things. So I am pouring a little bit of clear glue out on this lantern. It didn't even run through the edges. I tried to do just enough so that I could spread it out with a paintbrush and then put on these gorgeous pressed flowers. You could keep this like a neutral color if you wanted to, just use the greenery. They have different colors online for sale, but I feel like this was so incredible. If you can't find the pressed flowers or you just want to skip that because it is a little bit extra money, you can use stickers and use the clear coat over it. But I loved how these turned out. It makes it look so high-end and gorgeous for this spring and summer. This is another project that I've been dying to try. It just hit my mind one time whenever I was using a cutting board. I have this cutting board that was $15 on clearance for $5, but I was showing you earlier in a clip that Walmart has inexpensive cutting boards unfinished, ready to pick up. I just like this one. It was a little bit more decorative and I've used the other style so many times. So the first thing I'm going to do is take a piece of painter's tape and kind of decide how large I want this to be. Now this is definitely something that people do with epoxy too if you'd rather use that, but today's video is all about glue hacks, so I want to share with you all how easy it is to create this with just a bottle of glue under $2. So once again, just painting on the glue, putting down these pressed flowers. I love that they have like different sets of pressed flowers, so the colors are always different and everything in my home don't always look the same, but just space these out inside of the glue. I did leave the glue pretty thick so these would press down into it, and then after it dries, I go with another layer of glue right on top just to make sure everything's nice and sealed in. I'll be able to wipe this off if I need to dust it, but I think it adds so much color into the kitchen. Would be an incredible gift idea. I know Mother's Day is just going to be around the corner, but how fun is this? Easy to do and takes no time at all. I love the contrast of the matte finish wood as well as the shiny wood. I just feel like it adds extra detail and something special to it, makes it look really finished. I displayed this in my dining area. I think it is so beautiful and colorful, and pink's just my favorite color for this season. I have been sharing these tiny little flowers in my videos all month, and I just feel like there's so many things you can do with them. They add so much color. I wanted to share with you all how you take the clear glue and turn it into fake water. And I've done this in the past where I just filled up the jar with the glue and it stayed kind of tacky. I couldn't get it to dry 100%, but I learned a hack and I think it makes it look more decorative. If you put some rocks down in the bottom and then pour the glue over it, it's not going to be so much of a thick layer of glue that won't dry, but the rocks really fill it in, and then the small amount of glue surrounding the rocks will dry a lot easier. So for this, I just poured the glue on top of the rocks inside of one of my favorite Dollar Tree containers. I love this wide vase. It's, I think, $3 in the plus section. And then using some of these tiny little purple flowers mixed with some white ones as well as some little lilac stems, arranged a beautiful bouquet. I got tired of putting them in there one by one, so I just kind of stuffed them in there and then started moving them around. And I feel like this is such a fun way to make a gorgeous gorgeous bouquet or arrangement. I know if you pick them up at the store and they have that little bit of fake water in the bottom, usually made with resin, it makes it so expensive. So this is a budget-friendly way to get the faux water line without spending a lot of money. Alright, here's another fun way to use some of the clear glue. Pick up 2 large vases. One of these is the largest $1.25 vase, and then this one is actually $3 in the plus section, and it's quite a bit taller. That's what I was looking for. 2 that was kind of nestled together whenever I wanted to display this. I wanted to create some fun vases for floating candles, and I'll share with you guys the floating candles that I picked up. And this was super easy to put together. Once again, doing my hack of putting the little rocks down in the bottom and then pouring some clear glue on top and then putting in these little lilac pieces. I did try to measure so that they would set quite a bit under the top of this so that my candles would float above them. And you do want to let this completely dry before adding water in here so it doesn't mess up your Elmer's glue. I've even done this with real resin and it works the same. So either way that you want to do it, and if you use hot glue, make sure that you do use some cool water just to make sure it's not going to pull up your glue, but it doesn't seem to affect the Elmer's glue. Just poured it right on top of the rocks, stuck the little flower picks down in there, and then let this cure overnight. You can tell that lavender, this purpley color, is one of my favorites from Dollar Tree. All of the florals, or most of the florals in this video, are all that beautiful lavender color. I feel like it just screams springtime. I filled these up with water and just popped in one of my favorite floating candles. These are actually in the pool section whenever Walmart comes out with all of their pool supplies, so look for those. They're battery powered and seem to work really well. Okay, back to using the pressed flowers again. I had to share with you guys this. If you pick up one of these large round mirrors at Dollar Tree, you can actually decorate it with some clear glue over the top. I just pour quite a bit over the top of it, brush it out with a paintbrush, and then once again using purple, putting it around the edges, kind of in the same direction if I have any of the vines, and letting this dry, and then you can gently brush over it with some more clear glue to really seal it in. I love how these flowers come in different color schemes. I know I mentioned that before, but I feel like they just make it like a whole piece instead of being a bunch of random colors, and I feel like lavender fits into my bathroom just perfectly. Now these flowers will come very fragile, so you have to be careful or you will pull the petals off. Some people choose to use like a set of tweezers or some kind of little tool to pick them up. I just try to be very gentle. If I do pull off a petal, I just put it towards the side or something, but I feel like it's such a hassle to get the tweezers out and mess with them when you're adding so many to like a larger space. If I have any of the tiny little broken pieces, I also sprinkle them around close to the edges to really fill it in. And I feel like this makes a beautiful piece. It does put a few bubbles over the mirror. I don't mind it at all. I still think it's really fun and just to be used as a decorative piece. Next, I wanted to create a really slim vase or little greenery piece that I could stick in the window. So I didn't want to put like heavy panels on this window, so I thought it would be fun to actually decorate it in a fun way. So by doing this, I'm using one of these clear drawers organizers from the Dollar Tree. I remove the drawer and then I'm pouring in some of these mini little pebbles or rocks inside. Now I knew if this fell out, and I have kids, so it's a high probability that this could get knocked out of the window, and I don't want those rocks going everywhere. So I am taking some clear glue, kind of using it as epoxy, and putting a lot, like a big amount, on top of the rocks, and it's going to seep down into the bottom. So I put a lot of the clear glue and then some faux plants into the rocks, and it's not only going to hold the rocks in place, but it's going to hold the greenery in place, and I think it gives it a really cool effect. You can tell after I share that I've let this set all night, and then the next day it does seep down into the rocks and it just looks so much better. It does kind of give it like a shiny appearance. I think it looks so much better. The plants are nice and tight in there and just looks really cool setting in the windowsill. As soon as I saw these glass mirrored jewelry boxes inside of the store, I knew exactly what I was going to do with them. At first, I thought I was going to epoxy some pressed flowers right on top. This would be an incredible gift idea for Valentine's Day or Mother's Day. These were only $5 and really nicely made. But instead of mixing up the epoxy, because I am running low on my supply, I wanted to try out just using clear Elmer's glue. This worked out really well, especially if after you watch this video and you try to make yours, because I poured mine out. I thought I was going to be able to push the flowers down into it and let it dry, but I changed my mind pretty quickly. After painting it around the edges, I actually scooped it back up because I knew I needed to pour more glue on top rather than underneath. So go ahead and scoop up a little bit of the glue, spread it out evenly, and then using some of these gorgeous pressed flowers that you can pick up pretty much anywhere. I order mine from Amazon. I laid it out using a pink palette, mostly pinks, as well as the little daisies. And then you have time to like move these around very carefully. I know a lot of people pick these up with tweezers or like a tool, but I was trying to be careful. But I go ahead and sprinkle on a few extra of the pieces that I have remaining, and then let this dry completely. It actually hardens just like epoxy, and then I poured some more on top, making sure that everything was nice and covered, so this is going to last a long time. And I just loved how this turned out. It's giving you the same epoxy look without all of the harsh chemicals, without all of the smells, having to mix it for so long, but I think this really gave it an upgrade. Thank you all so much for checking out today's video. Please let me know in the comments down below which project was your favorite, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy crafting. Bye.